Hello and welcome to Cornhole Wrap-Up on ESPN+++. I'm Ruben Wright.
And I'm Samantha Croston.
Let's get right into the action. Penn State was able to jump out to an early 2-0 lead, and from there on, they were able to hold on to the lead, eventually jumping out to a 3-1 lead over Syracuse, and then extending it even further to a 10-4 lead. Penn State was able to just hold on to their lead, and Syracuse was never able to find that captivating comeback performance. What a win by Owen Cienko. Sam, take us through that bizarre moment that we saw at the end of the game with Alec Rubin.
Yeah, Ruben, that was weird and at the same time really not out of character. What we saw there was Alex storming off the court after a tough loss, and truthfully, this doesn't come as a surprise after what we heard about him last season and the infamous Waitgate. The reality is he has a history of someone who has been unsportsmanlike for a long time, and today was no different. It was a perfect example of that. I mean, let me ask you a question. Do you think that he should be suspended for his actions today after what you saw?
You know, Sam, that was a really bizarre thing that we saw from Alec Rubin. I think there will be consequences from the league. They're definitely going to have to take action to really prevent this unsportsmanlike behavior.
Absolutely, no doubt. And Ruben, tell us a little bit about what you saw today in Syracuse's play.
And you know, for Syracuse and Alec Rubin, they really struggled today. The things that we saw today is they couldn't find their consistency, they couldn't find a rhythm. And that's two things that they're going to have to start to find if they want to find success down the road. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Alec Rubin is going to have to find his shot. Now, Sam, take us through how Penn State won this game.
Yeah, I mean, I would say completely the opposite. You know, Owen, on the other hand, played so well, you wouldn't have even thought he was coming off of an injury. You know, we heard earlier today from Owen when I had spoken to him about some of those struggles he faced after that season-ending wrist injury last year. But he told me during the interview that he felt that the injury was not going to impact his play at all. And that's what we saw. You know, one time, as you pointed out earlier, Ruben, Alec even was trash-talking Owen, and, you know, he never seemed fazed by it, wouldn't you say?
Indeed, Sam. Owen was locked into the game and wasn't letting anything affect his rhythm.
I agree. Well, what a great way to, start off this first game in the season. But Ruben, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what to expect in the next few months.
First up, let's take a look at Penn State. Penn State has 4 big matchups to look forward to these next 4 weeks. First, a matchup where they go to Crane University. Next, they're going to follow it up by DeVry University, and a big matchup that you can find here on ESPN+++ against Nazareth Bible. That is one that you are not going to want to miss here on ESPN+++. And finally, they're going to round out that trip at Bloomingfield College. Now, Sam, take us through the schedule for Syracuse.
Well, later in the month, Syracuse has 2 games, one against Sonoma State, and that's on November 25th, and one against SUNY ESF. Now, Ruben, this matchup in particular is the one I'm excited for because you know there's such a big rivalry between these two teams. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Then in December, we also have 2 matches coming up, one against American University and one against the University of Phoenix. So there's really a lot to be excited about and to look forward to in this upcoming season.
There's a lot to be excited about these two teams indeed, Sam, and we have an exciting cornhole season ahead of us. I've been Ruben Wright.
I'm Samantha Croston.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Cornhole Wrap-Up on ESPN+++.